Welcome back to the channel. Good morning. I thought I would just do a quick update as we're now midweek, so that puts us at 2.5 weeks out. Crazy. But it is actually the Wednesday, the 16th of August, and I have just been over to Cuba's this morning. So it's a leg day today, so I've not got any cardio, just 6k steps to do fasted in the morning before meal 1. So I did that, went to Cuba's, did an in-person check-in, and he was very, very happy. So we are looking like I am going to be ready to start peaking around 8 days out. So if we're 17 days out now, that gives me, yeah, like 10 to 11 days of digging just to get my glutes and hams in. Like my front shot is practically ready. It's like 95% there. Just a couple of folds to iron out on my lower back still, but I think that a lot of that is just down to the fact that I'm still, you know, very flat for me at this point, and my upper body definitely shows it more than anything. But I think that once we're fuller, obviously conditioning will come through a little bit more in my upper body. But in terms of my back shot, that's just where we need to see that last little bit of fat loss happen. It's just to pull my glutes and hamstrings through. I think that a big part of it is, with that, I still do need a little bit more muscle on my glutes and hamstrings, but that will always be a battle that I will continue to be fighting. But it makes me very excited for next off season, if anything. And it's crazy that I'm always already looking forward to the off season where I actually get to grow and progress, even though I haven't even done the first show yet. But you know, it's just about loving the process, and honestly, it's just going to be the last just over a week, under 2 weeks of digging just to really bring everything through and get into the condition that we want. Obviously it's mad, like prep is, and I was talking to Mark about this yesterday, like prep is such a mindfuck. Like 1 minute you'll think I'm going to be ready, like I feel like I'm in good condition, etc., like it's coming through, and then the next minute you look at yourself and you'll be like, why am I still fat though? Like seriously, that is just prep. Like it is so many ups and downs, and whenever anyone goes into a prep, I'll always say, look, like the physical side of things is one thing, and there's also the mental side of things that's also really tough, and you will have a lot of peaks and troughs along with that. So it's just what you have to expect. And energy wise as well, that is very, very, obviously energy is pretty low across the board, but these rest days now are savage. So some rest days I'm actually on my ass, some I'm like kind of okay, but not long to go at all. And I'm getting very excited, even though I might not sound excited because obviously you can hear in my voice I'm already a little bit tired, and I talk a little bit slower, but yeah, it's gonna start to get interesting now for sure, and I can't wait to see it, and I can't wait to share it. So catch you in the next clip. Guys, it is now the Thursday, which, did I even vlog yesterday? I can't even remember. I've been a bit slow with vlogging, I will not lie. Today I feel like I'm a little bit running on fumes. Energy is pretty low, but we've got a job to do, and we really haven't got that long left of digging, like I said earlier. But I wanted to come on here quickly and just show you something that arrived in the post, which I'm so excited about. But yeah, it's all becoming very, very real. The show, like show day number 1, is definitely flying up on us, so let me show you. So of course I am going to put this into black and white, but it has arrived, and honestly it is better than I could ever have imagined. It's actually different from how I thought it would be, but it turned out better. So yeah, over the moon with it. Over the moon with it. It's absolutely perfect. So the bikini is here, and yeah, I could not be more happy. I can't wait to share it all with you and see the final look come together. But honestly, I have no words. I have no words. Can't wait. Getting very, very excited now. I actually need to go to the gym today to do an in-person check-in with Cooper again, because he wants to see me kind of midway through the day, and then again on Saturday actually. So I'm actually on a rest day today. I'm not training, but I still have to drive to the gym just to do that, but it's okay because it just keeps me busy, keeps me, you know, keeps my mind on something, gives me something to do. So yeah, busy is good when you're prep and you're trying to kind of distract yourself from being hungry. So definitely, if I have one word of advice, try and make sure you stay busy and you do have things on. But yeah, that's the bikini, and I will catch you all in the next clip. Apologies for being so shitty with the vlogging, probably this vlog, just because when energy is running pretty low, picking up the camera and actually finding things to say when nothing has really changed, we're just doing the same old, and unless something does change, things aren't going to be very interesting, because there's not really much to update you on, other than kind of very similar to what it has been the past couple of weeks, and we haven't got anything exciting that's happened, like a shoot or something like that. So yeah, I'll keep you posted. So then I actually went in for an upper session, which I still thought I would do a quick kind of, I guess, voiceover for and just tell you how I felt. So I'm not gonna lie, like this session I did kind of feel like shit, but that is just to be expected at this point. Like, you're going into your sessions pretty depleted. I'm pretty flat at the moment as well, so this is kind of I think this is second exercise in this session, so which is a lat focused row on the low row machine here, which I really do like. So here I'm just really focusing on driving my elbow down towards my hip, keeping them nice and close to the rib cage, really focusing on not too much protraction in my scapula, just really thinking about keeping all of that tension on the lat. So you almost want to think about crunching down on the side that you're working, tucking your hips under you, keeping a really neutral spine, but not obviously caving in your chest too much. And then you find that you have this really nice connection with that lat, and you should really properly be able to feel it. Like, I prefer like a semi-supinated grip here as well. You might prefer neutral, but yeah, I would say that that's going to allow you to really drive your elbow into your hip a little bit more. And then I have a Smith machine press here using the red Cybex, which I find is a lot more forgiving than the black Cybex, which makes me feel very weak at this point. But a couple of keys here. So I am going with, I guess this is what I would say is a 1.5 shoulder width apart hand grip, so nothing that's super wide, and then what I'm doing is I'm actually going to tuck my elbows slightly forward and allow them to travel forward ahead of my shoulder. The last thing you want to do is kind of pin your elbows back so they're kind of flared back in line with your shoulder, because that's quite a vulnerable position for your shoulder joints. So you're definitely going to want to make sure that they do travel forward a little bit. As I bring my elbows down, I'm going to think about getting my chest up nice and tall. So you almost want to think about having a bit of an arch in your upper back while your lower back stays neutral, your core stays nice and tight, and just really taking the depth down to, well, really as low as you can comfortably take it. So here I'm probably stopping about an inch away from my chest. So these obviously just making sure that I have that control the whole time. Retention with strength here has really not been too bad, but as you can see, like, I grind pretty hard for the last rep, and definitely wasn't getting more than that. And yeah, you can tell that it does take a good bit out of me here. But yeah, that kind of covers a couple of small tips here for the session that I did yesterday.
Try and open a little bit more of that. That's it. Definitely not true. Yeah. Shoot me over the diet and I'll get your chins over.
Thank you.
Yeah, no extra posing today, just literally the session and do nothing.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it, nothing else. Yeah, just keep your feet up and that's it. Yeah?
Yeah. Good morning, guys. So it is now the Saturday, end of the week. So as you saw, in-person check-in with Cuba this morning, and he has ordered a high day, which is very nice. Although I do always worry a little bit when I take high days this close to show, not because like I feel like it's not needed, it's literally just the fact that eating more food and I know that I'm still digging for that little bit extra condition. But it's definitely welcomed, but it's also mentally a little bit more challenging at the same time. So basically changes across the day is a good bit more carbs. So in every single one of my meals I've got like either 100 grams of cream of rice, 75 grams of rice, which is going to be great because it's a leg day as well, so I'm going to put that to good use. Right, so here is the menu for today. So 100 grams of cream of rice in meal 1, which I just had, so extra grams, that's an extra 50 grams, and then 75 grams of rice in meal 2, which that meal is actually carb free, so that's lovely. Pre-workout 100 grams of cream of rice, and then that is an extra 20 grams. Intra-workout is the same. Meal 4, which is post, is an extra 25 grams of cream of rice. And then meal 5, 75 grams of rice, so that's extra 25 grams, yeah, extra 25 grams. And then this is the meal that I'm looking forward to the most, I reckon. So this is 50 grams of oats, 50 grams of cream of rice, 20 grams of dark chocolate. Oh, unreal. So that means that that's an extra 50 grams of cream of rice. So usually that meal's just 50 grams of oats, and then it's usually just no dark chocolate. So extra 20 grams of dark chocolate, which I'm buzzing with. And of course I'll just check in tomorrow as well. But yeah, that's the updates. So here was meal 6, which was absolutely unbelievable, as expected. You definitely have to try out the oat and cream of rice combination in the air fryer. Honestly, amazing. I actually did 15 grams of dark chocolate and then 5 grams of almond butter, because why not? Right, guys, so it is Sunday, the 20th of August, post high day yesterday, which went down really well, I will not lie to you. It's crazy what that little bit extra food does. Honestly, my energy levels went from like practically like flatlined to being, you know, substantial, which at this point in prep is very solid. And of course, like, I'm carrying that over a little bit today, as you can probably tell in how like quickly I'm talking compared to the earlier clips in this vlog. But I just thought I would round up yesterday and I guess this morning's check-in, because yesterday I had a high day, which was about 2,800 calories. Macros for that were 178 grams of protein, 479 grams of fat. No, prep brain, it's still very prevalent, clearly. 479 grams of carbs and 21 grams of fat. So that was yesterday's macros. So obviously a good bit higher than usual. So that's probably around 850 calories over what I would usually have on my leg days, which is currently just under 2,000 calories. So it went down really well. Obviously didn't really make too much of an adjustment to my strength, given that that's probably going to be a bit of a big ask, even just from one day of extra food at 2 weeks out. So checked in this morning and I'm actually up by a kilo. So I was 53.5 yesterday, which is an all-time low for me. That was a big drop over the past, like, you know, day prior to that. And then this morning I'm 54.6. So up a kilo, fuller in the look for sure, especially in the front shots. So it's kind of done the job and we are back to baseline today, so back to pushing forward, and I'm looking forward to that, to be fair, because we've really not got long left. I was just thinking this morning when I was on the Stairmaster, like, oh, I only have like a handful of cardio sessions left. So if you think about it, I don't have cardio tomorrow because I've got legs. I've got cardio the day after, upper body the day after that, legs 3. Oh my god, it literally is like 3 sessions. What the fuck? That's mad, because I think we'll be starting peaking from like Saturday or Sunday, and my next rest day after that would probably be Sunday, which is what? That is absolutely nuts. So not many cardio sessions left at all. So we're just going to push things forward over the next few days, the last 6 days, so we're 13 days out as of today. And yeah, that's mad. I can't believe it. Don't really know how peak week's going to plan out yet. Obviously we'll just see the POA closer to the time. And I will say, like, the past week leading up to yesterday was pretty tough, as you probably saw, just with being on my arse a lot of the days. And that last video adjustment we made has definitely kind of pushed things forward a lot. But it's been hard, like, I think not just physically, but throughout prep as well. And I think this is normal for any competitor, but to have a wobble mentally every now and then. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, I'm fine, you know, just progressing forward and I'm gonna get there in the shape that I want. And sometimes I'm like, am I gonna be ready? Like, am I gonna be in the shape that I want to be in? And that's not pressure that necessarily, like, I feel from other people, maybe a little bit, because I feel like I've taken this long off season, and, like, you know, I've done a long prep and I've given it a lot of time, and, you know, I've had a couple of diet breaks and all of that, and I feel like I need to make sure that I'm in the condition that, more than what anyone else thinks, but that I want to be in. Because I think that at the beginning of prep I set a standard for myself as to what I visualized in my head for this year's package, and I don't want to bring any less than that. And you know, that package is not what the package that I'm going to visualize is in 2 years time, because obviously I'm not there yet, musculature wise, etc. But for this year, I think I had an idea of like how I wanted to look, especially as the look has kind of developed. And there have been times, like, I can't deny that I've questioned, am I going to meet that expectation? And you know, expectations are great, and it's great to set yourself a high standard to meet. However, like, and hold yourself to that, hold yourself accountable to it, because that's what pushes you forward every single day. But at the same time, that pressure and expectation that you put on yourself can be detrimental, especially in bodybuilding, where we know that stress can massively affect not just your physique but also your mentality, like where your mind goes, your body follows, and you lose enjoyment for the process if you worry about that. And me and Mark have spoken about it on multiple times. We've reminded each other about it on multiple times, that try not to think too much about the end result, just be present in the process, because it does not last forever, it flies. Like, if anything, this prep has just flown by. I feel like I've blinked and it's gone. So yeah, obviously we've got a few weeks left, but up until the first show anyway, it's like, just be present in what you need to do, because by worrying and by stressing about the day and the package you're going to bring on the day, like, you're going to just get lost in that, and you're not going to be present, and you're just going to wish every single day away, stressing and worrying, and it's just pointless. Just pointless energy spent on that. Pointless energy if you're the kind of person that looks... Bloody hell, guys, I was on a really good roll there, and then the memory card was full. Yeah, so what was I saying? Like, if you're the kind of person, and myself included, that looks around you and compares to, you know, where other people are at, and your perception, obviously, in prep of yourself, I think is very skewed anyway. And I think that bodybuilding is the prevalence for distorted body image and I guess body dysmorphia is pretty high, so it's something that we don't really have an accurate representation of ourselves, because I think that the whole prep goals thing is very relevant in a way, and it's very easy to look around you, because it's a sport where you stand on stage to be judged against the way other people look. So it would only be natural that you feel that way, but you need to make sure that you're kind of doing it for yourself rather than just doing it to win a medal or whatever. So I think that over the next couple of weeks, something that I'm really going to focus on is just, you know, regardless as to what happens, like, regardless of as to whether I meet the expectation of what I visualise in my head, like, which, you know, in a way I'm confident that I will, but regardless, even if I didn't, it's okay, because it's still by far my best. By far my best. I've totally transformed my package from the last time I stood on stage, and for anyone, like, the improvement, that's what bodybuilding is all about, improving, getting better, and bringing your best to stage season upon season, knowing that you dedicated so many days, weeks, months, years to that goal. So that is kind of my 2 cents on that. Hopefully you were able to relate to some of that, or that was kind of able to give you a different perspective on things if you're someone who's currently going through prep and maybe struggling with a few kind of mental wobbles every now and then, which again is totally normal. But yeah, like, that is practically me wrapping up the vlog. I hope you've enjoyed it. Another week down, 2 weeks out, 13 days out. Last week of digging now before we start peaking. So time to get after it. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment if there's anything else you would like to see. I'll see you in the next one.